Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Shows, Style, and Spirit. I am Ebony, and I want to give my commentary on this serious situation between mother and daughter, Jackie Christie and her daughter, Chantel. The slap heard around the world, as blogger Don Juan has said on his YouTube channel, from Basketball Wives. It's definitely a sad situation, but I have to say that family drama is definitely not a unique situation, definitely more on the common side. And I just want to talk about some things on a very basic level, even with them not being related. It's a classic case of leave folks alone, especially when they kept walking away from you all night. We're going to also hear a conversation between Jackie and Carlos King when he interviewed her about at least a month or so ago, a month or two ago. And we're going to talk about what Takari had to say. So before we get into all of these different angles of the story, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video and please subscribe to the channel. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. So the images, of course, I grabbed from the Neighborhood Talk. All of the blogs are talking about it. And as you can see, this is just a quick side note. When the original video comes from a network like VH1 in this case, I don't really see the point of putting the watermark on the images on the video, because it's not like you took your camera and you filmed this episode of Basketball Wives, like you were at their hotel and you filmed Chantel and Jackie going at it. You know, VH1's production company, whomever they hired to film for Basketball Wives, they filmed it. So that's just my personal opinion. But anyway, that's just something that I've always felt like if someone else recorded it and they're generous enough to let you be able to edit it and put it on your blog, or when we catch the celebrities going live on Instagram and we capture those videos, to me, there's no need for the watermark because they were the ones who were recording themselves. But in any event, let's get into the conversation between Jackie and her daughter. Jackie has been trying to walk away from Chantel. Chantel is addressing her mom by her first name. You know, she's basically calling Jackie fake. And, you know, we don't have this great relationship. Jackie really doesn't want to have a heated exchange with her daughter. And Chantel, in my opinion, just kept poking the bear. And then Jackie could not take it anymore. So definitely VH1 does not play Paramount. They will totally flag a video if you're playing straight up their content. So I just have the images and then I'm going to play the audio and then I will come back with my commentary. Here we go.
To sit down with your mother because prior to the cameras, we didn't have this issue.
We didn't?
No.
So we've had a great relationship?
Jenny, have we not?
Have we had a great relationship?
Okay, then you should probably be able to share with me why you feel that.
Mom, I'm asking you a rhetorical question. I feel like there's a huge difference between Jackie the mother and Jackie the personality. And I think that version of Jackie is who came and sat down in front of me right now. I don't want to be a part of the lie.
All as I know.
You're so sad.
All as I know.
This is sad.
It isn't.
It is.
All as I know is I agreed to sit down again with you to have this conversation for you. It ain't for me. I wanted to give you an opportunity to clean your name up. If this
I
how you
need
want
to clear my name.
Chantel, listen. If this how you
I need to clear my name up.
Girl, stop.
Do you hear yourself?
Stop.
I need to clear my
I'm
name.
gonna say this.
Please say it.
I
And
love
record
you.
it while you're
I
at it.
record
So you can
nothing.
run it back to
See,
Dad
I
and Douglas and
Stop.
continue to lie to them and tell them that what happened didn't happen.
Shanny.
So that when they see this, they see you for the violent individual that you are.
Stop.
No, I'm not going to stop. And I'm not going to let up. And I'm
Well,
going to
guess
speak
what I want you to do.
every
I want
single
you
time. I have zero respect.
I want you to get up and leave
Zero
my room.
respect.
Get up and leave my room.
Zero
Okay,
respect.
bye.
Bye.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Thank you.
You look very
Thank you
cute.
for wasting my time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for
Bye-bye.
Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
You
I
have a
feel
good night.
Good night, sweetie. Good night.
Be well.
Good night. I will. That's a much better exit.
You're right.
Good night.
Right. And
I
you
love
think you look better? Do you think you look better? Do you think that you fixed the
No,
situation?
I
Because you're
don't.
sitting here looking stupid. Look how you look as a mother, Jackie.
If you don't
Look how
get
you look as a mother.
it out the room,
Touch me.
let me go. Let me go. Let me go. No, you guys put your hands on me. Let me go. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. You put your hands on me. One in my room. Call Dad. Get him on the line, Jackie. Call Dad. You goofy as
Okay, now when Chantel says call Dad, because that ain't her first time that she has said to Jackie when they've been arguing on the show, if I call Dad, that's a wrap. And then Jackie gets mad because how dare you say you're going to call my husband like Jackie is a child and Doug is Jackie's father. Now, there have been some conversations. People feel like Jackie runs the show and Doug is a PUSSY. I actually feel like don't automatically assume that a quiet man does not lead his house. Those are actually the people you don't want to tick off, in my opinion, because he's putting an effort to always remain calm. Jackie comes off super high sprung to me. So I have a feeling that she and Doug kind of balance each other out. He's the mellow, nonchalant one, and she gets super hype. So I bet the kids feel more comfortable going to him. So for Chantel to say, if I call Dad, it's a wrap. So perhaps when she feels like Jackie is going off on her, she may call Doug, her dad, and Doug may talk to Jackie and kind of calm her down. But when Chantel says that on camera, on a reality TV show, Chantel, it comes across like you are a little girl mentally. And you are calling Dad almost like Jackie is like her sister and Doug is Jackie's dad, and she's like, telling on her. And I just found that to be super duper annoying and a little manipulative. And then it puts Doug between the place of his wife and his daughter. And I would imagine if Doug has half a brain, if both of the sides of his brains are functioning properly, if anything, he will uphold his wife. Because why would he go against his partner in life? I would hope not, ideally. But if that's the case where Chantel calls Doug every time Jackie is trying to get her to do something, or if they're having a disagreement, Doug needs to nip that in the bud. Because I feel like Chantel is trying to be manipulative and almost trying to turn them against each other. Sorry, that's my friend Jennifer texting me. But, the MacBook is tied to your iPhone, so the text messages come through. But I feel like Chantel definitely is trying to be manipulative between her parents. And hopefully Doug can see right through that. She was even saying to Jackie in the episode that, your marriage is going to end. And y'all know how I can't stand like the curses that people try to do. And, you don't really want to do that. If you're going to try and dab into witchcraft, the negative spells that's rooted in negativity or hatred, it could return to sender. You don't want to do that. So if anything, you would want to try and speak, positive things over people. But I feel like Chantel has been picking fights with her mom all season long, using her for a storyline. And what I mean by that, Chantel, she lives a soft life, right? She's not broke. She was born into wealth. She was born into the soft life. She is physically beautiful, no health issues, not overweight, long natural hair. She's not a single parent. She's married to an NBA player herself. No financial struggle, experiences, I hope, a healthy romantic relationship, has healthy children. She has it going on. And she was born into the wealth as well. And I'm sure, of course, no human is perfect. We can see Jackie is high sprung. I bet Jackie has her moments where she's not the best listener. She seems like the type that has a million things on her to-do list and a little scatterbrained. So I bet her kids kind of learned to be independent kind of young. Little Doug and Chantel probably learned to be in control of their schedules, be organized, you know, definitely live by an alarm to wake up to every morning. Because I can see Jackie kind of like being all over the place. But on the other hand, Chantel did experience a lot of comfortable things, not growing up in poverty. She was not a young mother. And if she needed, you know, for her dad to pay cash for a house for her, I'm assuming he got it like that, having been a retired NBA player. And it's not like Doug Christie has to pay child support all over the planet by getting a bunch of women pregnant. So, you know, I would imagine he and Jackie definitely got a nice little coin stashed away. So Chantel has it going on, but I feel like she wants to claim trauma. She wants to claim trauma and struggle. And I think that she felt like she had to do that on camera in order for the viewers to connect. And Chantel, yeah, the average American, the average Black American isn't born into wealth, doesn't have a retired NBA player for a dad, but we also want to connect with your real life story. I say, show your soft life. You don't have to try and claim trauma. That's why people have been saying you've been claiming your sister Takari struggles. And I think that that's what you thought you had to do in order to connect. I'd rather see the soft life. Get into your Toya Bush Harris bag. And Ashley Silva from Love and Marriage DC, I feel like she kind of lives a soft life. She's like a dance mom, but she did not embrace that on Love and Marriage DC. She was trying to come off like this boss, and you know, she wrote this book, and then for 2 seasons that was her storyline, the book. I feel like Black women who do live the soft life and they're on reality TV, don't shy away from that. Show that. You need to share that, because then it lets the rest of the world know not all Black women are struggle mothers or struggling in life. Some people have it with ease, and that is okay. I think if when Riley Burris gets a little older, Candy's daughter, if she does reality TV on another show, I have a feeling that will be her life, the soft life. She can totally embrace that. That would be fine. But I feel like Chantel did take, I have to agree with people who say it's like she took her sister's trauma and made it her own. And I really think that she felt she had to do that to connect with the viewers. And the way that, you know, she comes off at Jackie, because here's the thing, Jackie, I'm sure, you know, she doesn't want to hear that she's not Mother of the Year, right? I have a feeling Jackie is very, very high strung. You know, it's probably hard to get her to focus. And she may not be the most affectionate and emotional creature. So when you need that super duper nurturing, maybe that's not her. And it's I know that it can be tough to kind of accept people where they are, but I'm not 100% convinced that Jackie Christie was this huge abuser. I know that Takari talked about the colorism and her being heavier, and Chantel said that she had to like stand and watch Takari walk or run on the treadmill as a child. I think that's totally fucked up. Do I think that that was day in and day out Jackie Christie's demeanor? I hope not. And I also self-review. I admit my bias towards Jackie Christie. Do I find her entertaining? Yes. Do I find her humorous? Yes. But do I also see where she could be a train wreck in serious situations? Do I see where she could be a train wreck as a mom? Absolutely. I guess it's just hard for me to believe that she was this abusive person 24/7. I guess I don't want to, but I can definitely see and believe where she's definitely has been traumatizing. And I feel like the entire family, there needs to be some sort of structure and some healing for sure. And it's very sad to watch. And this is coming from someone, you know, I don't talk with my siblings. I just can't. I'm the baby. My siblings are a lot older than me. They're 12 to 21 years older. And I've been to therapy. And when I've told the therapist my experiences, he said they were bullies. And it's just a lot. And I feel like I am more confident and more at peace in solitude. And I accept that my siblings, they're going to be themselves, and they're used to a version of me that let them talk to me any kind of way. And so because I accept that that's who they are, I also choose not to be around that negativity. And so I look at Chantel and Jackie, and I feel like if there's not going to be any changes, then some people may have to distance themselves in order to have the peace. But if they're both open to change, then I think healing can take place. That's just my opinion. When Black folks say, and this is how I feel, and I ain't changing, that's pretty sad, because in life you do change. You change physically, your hair grays, you may gain weight, you may lose weight, you may change how you eat, you may become vegetarian like I did, you may find someone and get married, or you may get divorced. All sorts of changes takes place in your life, major changes. So when it comes to a personal relationship, when you tell someone, and I ain't changing, that's been told to me before, that's really asinine and foolish. But I think if they're both open to seriously hearing each other, seriously approaching each other differently, then hopefully the relationship can heal. But now I do want to talk about, let me know in the comments, what did you think about Chantel with her mom? Jackie tried to walk away from her a few times. Chantel would follow her, keep it going. I don't think Chantel anticipated the slap, but I think she definitely thought she was doing something by continuously violating her boundary. That's another thing. If someone is walking away from you, they're trying to establish a boundary. They don't want to continue engaging in this negative conversation, this argument. So if you continue to follow them, you are violating the boundary. And you have to leave folks alone, especially because the bully is expecting the person that they're bullying to always give them the same response, which is to put up with the bullshit. But you have to leave people alone, because you don't know how people will react. And you can't say that they went overboard with their reaction if you were constantly fucking with them. And I think that that's a huge takeaway for Chantel. But let's move on to when Jackie interviewed with Carlos Kane, and they talked about, this clip is about Jackie helping Chantel get on the show.
Your daughter is a cast member this season. Going into this current season, is that something that you were approached in terms of being okay with it? Or did you find out she was a cast member by filming or her telling you?
No, Annie has actually been a cast member for years, since 2018 or before. She used to make appearances on
Yeah.
She's My Daughter. So she had a contract from 2018. I don't know what the thing was. She would make appearances, but she hadn't officially signed on until this season. And I had spoken to the network and work first. We had talked about if she would have interest in it. Then I spoke to my daughter to see if she would have interest in it. And, she's always been kind of hesitant, like, I don't know, Mom, that's really not my thing. That's more your thing. I'm really into that. So I was like, would you want to come on like as a full cast member? Because I know,
Your daughter,
To sit down with your mother.
your daughter is a cast member this season. Going into this current season, is that something that you were approached in terms of being okay with it? Or did you find out she was a cast member by filming or her telling you?
No, Annie has actually been a cast member for years, since 2018 or before. She used to make appearances on
Yeah.
She's My Daughter. So she had a contract from 2018. I don't know what the thing was. She would make appearances, but she hadn't officially signed on until this season. And I had spoken to the network first. We had talked about if she would have interest in it. Then I spoke to my daughter to see if she would have interest in it. And, she's always been kind of hesitant, like, I don't know, Mom, that's really not my thing. That's more your thing. I'm really into that. So I was like, would you want to come on like as a...
Okay, so I played that a couple times. So Jackie pointed out that, she's always made appearances, which is true. I can remember when Chantel was like at odds with Drea, and Chantel was saying, and my life is different from hers. I've written a book. I wrote a book by the age. She wrote a book when she was a teenager. Like in the scene, it was Doug, Jackie, and Chantel was talking about how her life was so much more privileged than Drea's. So back then she was embracing the soft life in that one little scene. But once she becomes a full-time cast member, now she wants to claim the trauma. And I do think that that's something that some rich kids go through. I can remember watching an interview with Layla Ali, and she said how she would leave like her wealthy, affluent, suburban neighborhood, and she would drive into like South Central LA, and she would just like go up to people in the hood and just strike up conversation. Like that was something, important for her to do. And I think sometimes when people grow up extremely privileged, I guess they feel like they have to be down to earth with people who have less than. And I'm getting that vibe from Chantel, but it's in a very contrived way. And what I also wanted to mention earlier was, in addition to claiming the trauma for a storyline, I'm definitely convinced that Shawnee and Evelyn may have allegedly gotten in Chantel's ear and convinced her, like, yo, we've been trying to get the viewers to turn on Jackie. Maybe if they hear from you, they will, And I would imagine for them to approach her, she had to have vented about Jackie before with them, knowing that they don't really fuck with her mom. And, I don't get that. So that's pretty sad when you would do that, when you would talk with the ops. But I do think that that speaks to their relationship being fragile. And again, I can admit my bias towards Jackie. I'm convinced, I'm sure she's probably she can be unfocused at times. And she probably, once she gets mad at the kids, she may say some crazy things. And I think Doug's calming energy does help with that. But, this is just messed up all the way around. But I do want to talk about what Takari is saying. So post. So I'm going to read it from my MacBook. I have it pulled up so that I can see it. So Takari says, talking about Chantel, she doesn't even know our mom. If she did, she would only try to protect her. She didn't deserve to be done like this on her platform. That's all I have to say about this. So, obviously Takari is siding with her mom, saying that she didn't deserve to be treated that way and that Chantel would try to protect her. I think that Takari is noticing how some of the women on the cast, they do not like Jackie, so they are simply trying to embarrass her and make her look bad. And so Takari is saying, if Chantel could really sense that, if she really knew our mom, she would try to protect her and have her back on the show. That's how I am interpreting Takari's message. And she said, she does not deserve to be done like this. And I think that that's very, very mature of Takari. I think that we are seeing two young ladies, two sisters with opposite mindsets. And Takari seems very mature. And I think that that's awesome. Now in this scene, so I want to play this clip of Chantel talking to Denise Garcia and Brittany Renner about what she calls She told the cast that Jackie attacked her, knowing that she was meddling with her mom and kept chasing after her when Jackie would walk away. But I want to listen. I want you all to listen to what Chantel says in this scene.
I had no intent to even go there with her, but it's like, you're just so fake. I think it was just refreshing to tell her, like, you can't bully me anymore. You can't make me feel insecure. And you've always projected your insecurities on me. You've always wanted me to be a sample model size. You've always wanted me to be this perfect person. When I was a kid, I experienced so much at the hands of outsiders, and I never felt safe sharing that with my mom. And I feel like in the moments that I did, it was more so, you're lying. That couldn't have happened to you. So much of what happened to me when I was younger could have been prevented if she had just believed me. How different would I be? How different would my siblings be? The mental warfare that we experienced was worse than anything. She would say things like, you better clean up your room before your dad get here and kick you down the stairs. Like, my dad has never even expressed violence like that to me. When I tell you guys that I was raised off of fear and not respect, like, these are the things that I'm talking about.
Telling the truth is an act of love. And I would argue that you probably love her the most, I feel, because you're willing to have a conversation with her. And it's like, she doesn't get to even see that.
Everything about it is sad. A huge part of me has tried to give my mom grace because I don't know what happened to her in her childhood. I don't know if some of the things that I experienced mirror what she's experienced. But I don't feel that that's any excuse for her to treat me or my siblings the way that she has. You have to get the help you need so that you can be a better woman and wife and mother. You always used to look so like larger than life to me. I don't want anything from you anymore.
Because you're learning so much of my mom, and like, I know how you feel. I feel like it's a whole, you have to learn how to feel yourself. And it's like, I love my mom, and I like hate who she is. And I hate that I can't like let her into my heart in that way. It's like surreal. Like, I am witnessing what my mother and I just went through with Jackie and Chantel. I can feel her pain. And there is no winning with toxic mothers, because it's not about them having some epiphany and being the mommy that you always wanted them to be. They are ready to die by the lie. And it's heartbreaking.
I had no intent to be.
Okay, so Chantel in this scene, she talks about, being mistreated by people. And when she would try to tell Jackie about it, Jackie did not believe her and would try to gaslight her and say that that didn't happen to you. I think that is very toxic, very unhealthy. And it makes me uncomfortable, actually. An uncomfortable feeling comes over me when someone experiences that. We've watched it on camera on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta when Rashida tried to gaslight K. Michelle and tell her that she was not physically abused by her ex because Rashida was friends with the guy and his, the one that he had moved on with. So because Rashida was friends with them, she was trying to tell K. Michelle, maybe that didn't happen to you. And that's awful. That, to me, for me, this is my personal thing, that's borderline evil, because you're literally trying to take control of someone's mind and trying to tell them that their experience didn't even happen. Why are you trying to do that? If you don't want to support them, just sit there and don't say shit. But you don't have to try and gaslight them. And it's also an insult to their intelligence. So I totally get why K. Michelle don't fuck with Rashida. I would be the exact same way. So I am sorry that Chantel experienced that with her mom. I compartmentalize that from the physical altercation in the episode. Brittany Renner, she's wearing the cute leopard scarf. I know it's like a hijab for her. but she was very emotional in the scene, saying that she could relate because of her broken relationship with her mother. And she said in her confessional that she felt Chantel's pain. And she told Chantel, telling the truth is an act of love. And I thought that that was a very profound statement. And I also want to add to that and say that, you know, in order for you to heal, you don't have to get an apology or a confession out of the people who bullied you, mistreated you, if they scammed you, stole from you, violated you in any way. You don't necessarily need to hear the words, "I'm sorry," or for them to admit that they mistreated you. You can know for yourself that you were mistreated. And you can decide, well, I'm going to make the best out of the life that I have. And from here on out, I'm going to take care of my body and be healthy and be responsible with my finances, yet have that balance between enjoying yourself and having fun. And you don't have to continue to F with the person, especially because they're blood related. You know, you don't have to, you're not obligated to put up with the disrespect just because you're blood related. If they are willing to tell the truth about doing you wrong, telling the truth is an act of love. Brittany, I feel you, but in case they don't have the balls to admit, you know, I'm an asshole, I bullied you. If they're not ready to tell the truth, you still love yourself and you tell the truth to yourself that you knew that you were done wrong. But look at where you are now in spite of the trauma. You're not traumatizing someone else. You're taking good care of yourself in spite of what happened. So this situation between Jackie and Chantel, it just spawns a lot of much needed conversation, and it gives a few different perspectives on family relationships. When do you walk away? And I also think, you know, when it comes to the mollywop, Chantel, you should have just let your mom walk away. You know, leave folks alone. But let me know, what do you think about this entire situation? I thank you all so much for checking out this video. Again, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video and please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you all had a terrific Tuesday. I did. I cannot complain. And work went by, and then I knocked out the gym, got that out the way. And I got some Middle Eastern food. I got like falafel and rice. It was a falafel bowl. So it had like the falafel, the rice, the lettuce, the tomato. They sliced a pickle. And then I got a smoothie. It was blueberries, ginger, and apple juice. Oh my gosh, so good. I could taste the ginger and it took on the color of the blueberries. It was just wonderful. And then after that, I went to the park and walked for 40 minutes. And it was nice because like if the sun wasn't heavily beaming down, because it was during the 8 o'clock hour. And you know, now I have created some content. So I hope that you all have a wonderful Wednesday, and I will talk with you soon. Bye.